So we're sitting with the Mawela male leopard we don't often see, who's got a hoisted impala kill up at a marula tree. It's quite an open tree. We're in a clearing on a hill crest here, and this leopard's known to be quite aggressive towards vehicles when he's on a kill. He's a little bit unrelaxed at the moment, we think possibly because the kill is so exposed. So he's just slunk off into the grass as we got here. And we're so lucky here. We're going into our 5th decade of consistent leopard viewing. Leopards used to be very skittish in this area. And then in 1979, a young female was found in Londolozi who was just somehow more relaxed than other leopards. She became known as the mother leopard. She raised 12 successful litters, which is still the highest number known. And because of the sensitive approach in those early days, we now find ourselves viewing leopards on a regular basis, and the fact that they're relaxed combined with us being right in the heart of the highest density of leopards ever recorded in Africa makes for some phenomenal viewing. This isn't one of those times because this leopard's hiding behind a bush and he doesn't want to come out. There's a giraffe over there that's now staring at him. So much like the alarm calls of other animals that tell us where predators might be found, giraffe also give the game away by just staring fixedly into the bush when they see something. They don't alarm, as we know. Apparently they hum infrasonically to each other, but that's a whole different story. Just down the hill there's a lovely herd of elephants there. The youngsters are taking great joy in tormenting starlings by chasing them. So they're keeping us entertained while we wait for the leopard. But we're hoping to see him go up the tree as the sun starts to go down. So this leopard's completely up and vanished. We saw him going behind a bush. We went to check a little bit later and he's gone. I suspect he's lying in the long grass here. You can hear a bird stop calling. There, bzzz, that little noise. So some little birds are unhappy about something here. Not necessarily the leopard, but there's a little pool of water over here and his tracks are right at the edge. So this is where he's been coming for a drink. If they can find a convenient little pan like this, which is only about 100 meters from the kill, he doesn't have to go on a long walk all the way to the closest water hole. So the last thing we want to do is pressure him. We don't want to keep pushing into the grass if he isn't here and frightening him. That's the way to make sure he stays unrelaxed around vehicles. So we'll leave him be. What we have just heard from Kevin is that the Elusive pride's up and moving. Let's head there and see what they get up to. Got one of the Birmingham males walking behind me right now, as the rest of the pride come out of the grass. It's an unbelievable sight. I mean, to have 20 lions coming past you like this. Guys, this is the Africa you want to see. If you take anything away from these Instagram stories, postpone, don't cancel. Come to Africa, come and see this stuff. It's ridiculous. Okay, so the pride is very much on the hunt right now. They're moving through a pretty thick area. Susha's following them through the block with a spotlight. We're nipping around ahead to a much more open clearing to wait for them there. Stick with them long enough. It's getting very dark now. There's no moon, lots of clouds, very good hunting conditions. There should probably be impalas up on these clearings. Behind me you'll see, and here, the Elusive pride finishing off their second kill for the night. They killed an impala earlier. Those that didn't get any meat trotted down the road and killed a wildebeest, which the whole pride is now sharing. And there's no way to distill a night like this into words. You can show visuals, you can try and describe it, but it has to be experienced to be believed. It's completely overwhelming.
We're standing in the Manyeleti riverbed, and this morning we're going to walk the length of it as it winds its way through the northern parts of our reserve. Being on foot, it's a very different experience to being on the car. You go all in, you just become completely immersed in nature. There's absolutely nothing around bar the things that we're carrying. So we're sitting here on this beautiful boulder with a cup of coffee as the sun's coming up, and it's this intangible feeling that's just so great.
It's pretty awesome to be able to take everything in and sort of look at the smaller things a lot closer. So we brought some sandwiches with and some jaffle irons. Some incredible time on foot, just beautiful. We're gonna go find our vehicle if it's still there and head back to camp.
There's a very special start to this morning. There's a newborn giraffe and its mother. So this calf is absolutely tiny, which is obviously a relative term in the giraffe world. I mean, it stands 2 meters tall. But as giraffes go, it's pretty much as small as they can get. It's probably been born only in the last 24 to 36 hours. And we can tell by the length of the umbilical cord, which is still partly attached. The umbilical cords do stay on the calves for a couple of weeks sometimes. But this one is so long, and its skin is still quite loose fitting. It hasn't quite grown into it yet. It's wobbly on its feet. It's struggling to maintain its balance. It's wonderful seeing how vigilant the mom is in particular. I mean, obviously a calf of this age is incredibly vulnerable to predators. As that hyena approached, the mom just tucked the calf right under her belly, keeping it as close to her as possible. Giraffe females will defend their calves, or will attempt to, against lions, against entire prides. They've got such long legs and such sharp hooves that tremendously powerful lashing kicks can even kill a lion. Luckily, it doesn't seem like there are any lions around right now, so the calf is at the moment as safe as can be. We'll come to where the sticks pride on a kudu kill, although visually we obviously try and display the most spectacular sightings in the open, beautiful photographic opportunities. Sometimes it's like this, it's thick, can't see anything. I can literally see a corner of fur of one lion down in the bushes. But a thick area like this often means good hunting. It means they can move around in cover, they won't be seen. And apparently this was a big kudu bull. I can only just see the skeleton. And I should take this opportunity probably to say that apparently there are only 5 in this pride. We had received reports that 6 of them were seen on a road in central Londolozi. Apparently that was incorrect. There are only 5. So that makes us wonder why that lioness was vocalizing like that, because she had left the pride and was roaring. If she wasn't looking for a missing pride member, most likely she was looking for a male to mate with. She may well be coming into estrus, and if there's no male nearby to detect through scent that she's in estrus and ready to mate, the way to advertise is through roaring, because that sound obviously travels quite far. Lions moved off. You can see, look around me how thick this area is. It's hard to grasp. I'm looking at the wide angle like this, but we can't see more than 20 meters. pride is lying somewhere in these bushes, probably very full-bellied. We are going to leave them to it. There's not much to be seen, and they're probably going to be fairly inactive for the rest of the day. Okay, slight change in plan now. The Styx pride are apparently on the move again. So they left the kill and decided not to lie up for the day. They're heading out. Innocent and the Tracker Academy bumped them on a road probably about 500 meters from the kill. So while we were off in the complete opposite direction, the lions started heading away. Not too sure where they're going. Maybe down towards the river. Have a look at the map that we'll show now, just to give you an idea of where we were, where the kill was, where the pride's moving. This pride's movements have been very erratic over the last couple of weeks. No real consistency. They're almost semi-vagrant at the moment. It doesn't look like they're sticking to an established territory. It might be to do with the fact that it doesn't look like they have a coalition or a male that's dominant over the pride. And anywhere they go, that young male will be in serious danger from any coalition they might bump into. Their behavior in the last couple of weeks suggests a pride on the run. It looks like they've been through a bit of a rough patch recently, judging by their reactions to the Land Rovers and their general movements across the reserve. But for the moment, they've done well. Big kudu bull, that's probably 200 kilograms plus that they've consumed. And now they're very full-bellied. It's a hot day. They're going to stay in the shade, I'm sure. And as far as we know, there are no other lions within a couple of kilometers of them now, so they can stay nice and safe here for the day. And that's essentially what it is, life in the bush. There's no such thing as a happy ending. It's just chapter after chapter after chapter, and it's living day to day, hand to mouth, or paw to mouth as it were, and you're just trying to make it through the next 24 hours as a lion, as an impala, as a snail. Oh, it's just this ever unfolding saga, which is why for us it's so appealing to keep track of. There's always going to be something new. So we're with the Elusive pride in Birmingham Mount once again, mainly through sheer self-indulgence. Spending time with 22 lions is never a bad thing. So the prides will spread out across the clearing here. There was a large herd of buffalo here an hour or so ago that spent the day sleeping only about 200 meters from the pride. They have now moved off to have a bit of a drink. The good news is that the pride is looking like getting active. And maybe, just maybe, I'll go after the buffalo. An afternoon that started with such promise is now wound down into distinct anticlimax. It's certainly not over yet, but at 4 o'clock it was still warm, bright light. The pride just got up and made a beeline straight to where the buffalo had been. And they reached this waterhole and they lay down and went to sleep. So hopefully they're just waiting till it gets dark, when conditions will be good for hunting. Okay, for some reason the herd has now come back to the waterhole. They're standing right on the edge of the thicket line. The lions are over there, only about 50 meters away from the buffalo. I don't think the buffalo realized that the lions are so close. So they're all slowly starting to regather behind me. So that looked like a missed hunt. Underlined exclamation mark. That's pretty much it. I don't think too much more is going to happen. The buffalo came in, the lions charged after them, they didn't manage to catch any. And now they're all regrouping around the waterhole they were at earlier. Yeah, pretty tough for us to see what's going on to keep up with them. But they're walking in the opposite direction to the buffalo now, so they may have decided it's not worth their while. They're going to go after something easier. And there's a lioness that was found this morning about 5 kilometers that way, who they may want to regroup with, so they might just cut their losses and head back north now.
So just behind us you can see there's a very dense stand of guarri bushes, but there's 2 mating leopards. We get a brief flash of a tail and we can hear the growling, so we're just waiting and hoping that they walk out of these thickets so we can get a clearer view of them. So just behind me here, you can see the flat rock male. She's mating with the Makumsava female. It's been some time since we've seen them together. Haven't actually seen any mating yet, but lots of growling and snarling. With mating leopards, it's always fascinating to watch. It's quite an aggressive affair. The female often initiates it. She will walk up to the sleeping male and she will move around quite frantically in front of him. You'll see a tail going up and wrapping around his head. But today, the flat rock male is not interested at all. She's tried maybe 4 or 5 times. We've seen a half-hearted attempt, and just when he was about to get down to business, she ran off in the opposite direction. So it's very interesting behavior from the two of them. I'm not too sure exactly why she's initiating it and then running away at the last second.